Struggling to get website traffic without burning through your marketing budget? Most businesses make the same mistake. They focus on paid ads without building a foundation of organic growth. I'm going to break down 5 proven strategies that will get you 10x more traffic without spending a dime. If you're tired of throwing money at ads with disappointing results, you're in the right place. The problem is simple. Most business owners think paid traffic is the only reliable way to get visitors, but they're leaving thousands of free visitors on the table. If we haven't met before, I'm Brandon Harris, and I set up online systems that help businesses get more customers and increase their profits. And today, I'm sharing 5 completely free strategies that can drive serious traffic to your website starting this weekend. We're going to cover the weekend content blitz strategy, how to focus strategically on social media platforms, business collaborations, lead magnet creation, and strategic podcast appearances. The thing is, most business owners think generating content takes weeks or months of sustained effort. But what if I told you can set up an entire week's worth of traffic driving content in just one weekend? The problem is that most people create content randomly without a strategic plan for visibility. And that's where the weekend content blitz comes in play. Here's how to do it. Block out one weekend to create 3 to 5 highly shareable, valuable pieces of content for your niche. You should focus on formats that tend to get shared a little bit more often. Things like infographics with surprising stats on them, or quick reference guides, checklists that simplify a complex process, or short, actionable how-to tutorials. Then schedule these pieces for strategic release throughout the coming week. And here's a pro tip. If you already have content on your website, you can repurpose that to fit within those parameters. Concentrated effort on creating multiple high-value pieces at once is going to be more effective than spreading that same effort out across multiple weeks. When you batch content like this, it helps you get in the zone and produce higher quality content. If you're interested in learning what content format works best for your industry, drop a comment below and I'll make sure to help you out with it. This is something that most businesses do when they're trying to generate traffic. They waste time trying to be active on every social platform. But what if focusing deeply on just 2 to 3 platforms could bring in more traffic than half-hearted efforts on all of them? Problem is that most businesses just use a spray and pray approach, posting identical content everywhere without optimizing for each platform's unique strengths. This is where that platform-specific content strategy comes in play, and here's how to do it. First, identify which 2 to 3 platforms your target audience uses the most actively. Then, set up and optimize your profiles on these platforms. You're going to want to update things like your profile photos and banners with consistent branding. Be sure to craft a bio with a clear value proposition. And then add your website links in all the possible locations for it, and pin your best performing content to the top. Most importantly, though, is to create platform-specific content. Instagram is great for visual tutorials and behind-the-scenes content. LinkedIn is great for industry insights and professional tips. Twitter, or X, is news commentary and conversation starters. And Facebook is great for community building content and longer discussions. The critical step here is scheduling a full week's worth of content for each platform in advance, all in one weekend. Keep in mind, for every platform you try to maintain, you dilute your effectiveness. Quality and consistency on a few platforms will always beat quantity across many. Question for you. Have you noticed how most businesses view others in the industry solely as competition? This mindset misses an enormous opportunities for mutual growth through strategic partnerships. The real problem is that businesses fail to identify and pursue complementary relationships that could drive significant traffic to both parties. Here's the strategy that actually works. Identify 10 to 15 businesses that serve the same audience but don't directly compete with you. For example, if you sell fitness equipment, partner with a nutritionist. If you offer web design, collaborate with copywriters. If you're a realtor, team up with mortgage brokers. With this, you need to reach out with a specific, mutual beneficial proposal such as content swaps for your email newsletters or joint webinar opportunities. The other thing that works well is guest posting and resource guide collaboration. The key is making your outreach specific and value focused, not just asking for exposure. This approach is extremely powerful because it leverages established, trusting audiences and comes with an endorsement from someone they already know, like, and trust. Okay, so let's talk about one of the most underutilized ways to drive consistent traffic, and that is creating a high-value lead magnet. Most businesses either don't have one or created a generic resource that doesn't truly solve a specific problem. The problem is that without creating a compelling reason to visit and return to your website, most visitors will bounce and never come back. Here's my approach. Create a resource so valuable that people would actually pay for it. Then offer it for free in exchange for an email address. To do this, you need to identify a specific painful problem that your audience faces that you can solve with a concise resource. These resources can look like a PDF guide or template, a free calculator or assessment tool, a cheat sheet or a swipe file, a resource directory, or a mini course and tutorial. The key here is being specific on the resource. Don't create the ultimate guide to marketing, but rather create a 5-minute daily SEO checklist for e-commerce stores. Being specific about it is going to grab the attention and you'll be able to solve that problem a lot faster. Then create a dedicated landing page on your website to host this lead magnet with an email capture form. This is going to give you access to an email list so you can build a relationship with them. And the best part, this strategy continues working long after your initial weekend effort, creating a sustainable source of new visitors and email subscribers. Let's talk about strategy number 5. It can be huge depending on the audience. Most businesses overlook the power of being a podcast guest to drive significant traffic. But what if appearing on just one relevant podcast could bring in more qualified visitors than weeks of social media posting? The problem is that most people think that they have to host their own podcast. But the thing is, when you're a guest, it can be much more efficient for traffic generation. Here's how you can implement this in a weekend. First, you need to identify 10 to 15 podcasts where your ideal audience is listening. Look for shows that have consistent publishing schedules, feature guest interviews regularly, serve your exact target audience, and allow guests to mention their websites. Then, create a compelling pitch that focuses on the value you'll provide to their audience, not just your credentials. Your pitch should include 3 to 5 specific topics that you could discuss, why their audience would care about these topics, your relevant experience and unique perspective, and any previous media appearances. Now, if you've never been on another podcast before or anything like that, don't get discouraged. You can still use this method. The key to this strategy is preparation. Spend your weekend researching shows and crafting your personalized pitches. The best thing is podcast audiences are uniquely engaged compared to other traffic sources. They spend 30 to 60 minutes just listening to you, building tremendous trust before they even visit your website. With that, we've covered 5 powerful free strategies to drive traffic to your website that you can implement in a single weekend. To recap, we have that weekend content blitz, which is creating a week's worth of strategic content all at once. We have the strategic social platform, which is dominating 2 to 3 platforms instead of spreading yourself thin across many. Then we have strategic business collaboration. This is where you're partnering up and sharing a mutual audience. We also covered lead magnet creation, which is solving the specific problems to attract visitors. And the last one is strategic podcast appearances, leveraging existing audiences through being a podcast guest. Now, remember what I said in the beginning? Most businesses make the same mistake. They focus on paid ads without building a foundation for organic growth. These 5 strategies help you build that foundation without spending a dime. The key with this is consistency. Pick one of these strategies to start with and don't try to do all 5 at once. Master that one strategy over the next 30 days, then add another. If you found this helpful, there are 2 quick things you can do. First, hit the like and subscribe button so you don't miss the next video. And second, leave a comment below and tell me which of the 5 strategies you're going to implement first. With all that said, the one thing you need to remember is that you don't need a big budget to get big traffic results. You just need the right strategy and consistent execution.